I want to close my remarks not with my words, but with the words of the Italian poet Attilio Bertolucci, from a short poem he wrote in 1929. I'll read it in Italian and will not translate it, out of respect for him and for the Baroness, who would take this occasion to encourage you to learn Italian if you don't know it. It is my farewell to the Baroness and my promise to her, her family, and all of you. Her absence from this home will be her more intense presence. Assenza, più acuta presenza, vago pensier di te, vaghi ricordi, turbano l'ora calma e il dolce sole, dolente il petto, ti porta come una pietra leggera. Thank you. Thank you.
Quando noi per caso in un solo istante ci guardiamo indifferentemente e pensiamo in fondo cosa siamo, quando improvvisamente ritroviamo tutti quei momenti che dobbiamo ricordare per poterci amare, noi comprenderemo cosa vuole dire veramente starsene per ore nel silenzio, stretti d'amore.
Potrei dire che è una piccola mostra antologica, diciamo così, con opere che vanno dal 1993 al 2015. 2 opere in particolare sono state progettate, diciamo così, per questo spazio.
E ci accorgeremo ora che il passato è stato quel che è stato, ma il domani cosa mai sarà. Metti una sera.
I prefer to speak in Italian because for first I'm very lazy. For second one because it's better for you, and for third because I study French at school and my mother said you have to learn French because with French you travel all over the world and there is no problems, and I discovered that it's not like this. So if I speak in Italian it will be better.
All'improvviso sui nostri visi non c'è più niente.
We've probably lost a lot of the ephemeral arts work that happened. Everything from the kind of music that might have been written for Saints' Days, that after the Saints' Day was over, people tore the music up. It wasn't something they were interested necessarily in memorializing and preserving and so on. So I think what this is a way into is a way of thinking that we might only be thinking when we look back on anything artistic in the Renaissance, including written products, music, and so on. We might only be thinking of those things that have memorials to them, meaning that they have traces.
It's kind of an upbeat story in some ways if you stick with it for about 5 decades, because eventually the church plays a role in bringing the Irish and the Italians together, because the Italians who did not marry their own kind, their other Italians, almost always married Irish partners, and those Italians also were almost always people who were involved in the church. So they kind of found that common ground with the Irish through the Catholic Church.
Domani cosa mai sarà? Metti una sera.
The greatest part of my experience, as we may say later, as a judge and as a legal scholar, is the fact that I am a refugee, that I am an outsider in the sense in which Gianna has said of people who came here. That's what made me the judge and the scholar that I am. And so to talk about this experience so unusual of what Italian Jews found when they came here, when I was 6, almost 7, is something that means an enormous amount to me.
When we did one of these performances in the prison, the men were performing their own words, and one man was performing a monologue inspired by Dante for an audience of incarcerated men, and they gave him a huge ovation, and he stopped them in the middle of their applause. He said, "No, don't clap for me now. Clap for me when I get out of here and become a better father to my children." Dante's poem is a poem about transformation, written by a writer who was convicted of crimes, exiled from his family, sentenced to death if he ever returned home to Florence. And that journey of Dante's from the dark forest through hell and purgatory to heaven is a journey that incarcerated men and women can identify with.
What I like in this country is the universities. I must say, American universities are incredible. The libraries, and then the atmosphere is, well, for example, normally when I go around, people don't know anything about Italy. Even sometimes they don't know where is it. No, I mean the normality of the people, no? But when I go in the universities, oh, it's incredible because they know everything, more than the Italians.
I learned Italian and I love languages, especially Italian because, I speak Berber, Arabic, and French. Because I was born and I found these 3 languages, I didn't make any efforts. But for Italian, I added something new to my identity because in general, we think that identity is just a heritage. And it's very funny, the 2 words in Italian, identità e eredità. Identità, eredità. So identity, heritage. So I'm so proud for all the efforts that I made to learn Italian and to add a new piece of identity to my original identity.
Look at the 7 images all out there for you to see in Parma, and look at this. It is not trying to tell you, it is inviting you into that Neapolitan street, into that little alley, that as Esposito would say, you can find right outside the door now. Go out there, we'll find them. I'll show you these people. And that's the immediacy. And this is one thing that so many art historians forget, is that he is as present and urgent and as alive now, and all of those folks are as alive now as they were when they were painted 400 years ago, with Hollywood lighting.
In the world, we are still represented by 3 stuff: food, fashion, and furniture, still owned by family company. The problem is, I think in the past, we went by ourselves. Every company, they run not together, but separate. It's like a gallery, where the producer are the artist and the products are the piece of art. And we put something together, the beauty, the good of what the Italians are doing in a new place. Before, we didn't like really, yes, we bring something that's never was here, but before there was already the pasta, the prosciutti, the cheeses, but all the time we were like spread everywhere. And for the first time, we decide together to bring the best, and not only the best, all what we represent in one place, and be proud to be black place and proud to be Italian. We are only like the 0.5% of the people in the world, but everybody wanna eat, wear, and be like us.
The tomatoes from Naples are like meat. they are meat. They are so compact and fragrant, and you can smell the volcano in the tomato. Because they come from nature, they are born and they are dying after 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. If the salad survives for 15 days, it's not salad, it's plastic. And I want that someone explain to me the difference between tomato and tomato, salad and salad. And this is the reason why I wrote this book.
I had to say that it's very funny when we rehearse, because we are joking and having fun all the time, especially with him. With the others, it's a little more difficult because they are very stiff. It's a difficult part. So, but for him, it's really a joy, and we are laughing. And I had to say that many times they just said, "Oh, could you please stay quiet? Can you concentrate so we can rehearse?" It's always very difficult.